I grind like a skate, don't need me a show. Don't need me a show.
Yeah,
All right. So, introducing, coming live from the 305. Nah, it's a guy, y'all, I personally know who is a Cleveland Brown safety, upcoming safety. How are you, Redwine? Has COVID affected you or anybody in your family?
you know, it's affected everybody.
Yeah.
I haven't had anybody personally affected, but you know the real, you know what it's caused. You know, it just caused a little discomfort in our everyday lives.
Definitely. Because the world is crazy right now with police brutality and stuff. Like, what's your intake on all that?
You know, it's a fight we've been trying to fight for a long time. You know,
Right.
it's been brought to light with, I feel like it's been more brought to light with social media, you know, so we're starting to see a lot more of it visualized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can actually see it happening, but, you know, it's been a fight that we've been fighting for a long time, you know, so people just tired of it and just waiting for change to happen.
For sure. So we're going to take it back. What was it like growing up in Miami for you?
I mean, I had fun, you know, I love growing up in Miami. You know, my entire family live within like 15 minutes of each other, you know, so that's my hometown. You know, I was born in Daytona, but, you know, as soon as I moved to Miami, you know, that's all I knew. So growing up, you know, I love my childhood, you know, still got close friends to this day, you know, Miami where my home is.
For sure. So what was your early involvement with sports? Did you play any sports other than football, or was it just football for the jump?
Yeah, I actually played T-ball at first, Florida City T-ball, yeah. So that was my first sport. I ran a little bit of track in high school, wasn't that fast, that young. But, you know, football's always been my main love. You know, I started playing at 4 years old, you know, till this day, you know, so that's all I really knew.
So did you always play defense, or did you play something else?
Played a little offense, you know. I played a little offense for younger, but moved to defense for good in high school, you know, and that's where I'm playing to this day.
So I know you told me that you weren't always that guy. So what kind of motivated you to be that guy?
Look at Mike.
I know.
You talk about how much your chain costs. I need one. What you were saying? Say it again, please.
I said you told me you weren't always that guy. So what motivated you to keep applying that pressure?
I mean, you know, I just always felt like I had something in me, you know, that was just, I had, you know, I always felt, even though I wasn't getting the accolades, you know, young, I always had a drive within myself, you know, that just kept telling me, you know, I'm going to do something special, you know, no matter what the statistics say. You know, when I used to tell teachers, you know, I'm going to be a football player when I grow up, you know, you always get there's only 1% that make it, you know, so I never really listened to that. I just always listened to my heart. It just told me to keep working, you know, whenever, you know, the plan is going to, whatever I put my heart to, you know, really, it's going to manifest itself and it's going to happen.
So your senior season at the University of Miami was amazing. You had a total of 64 tackles. Do you feel like you left your mark in the University of Miami?
You know, I felt like I have, you know, a little bit, you know, to an extent, but, you know, that's University of Miami, you know, it's like a brotherhood, you know, so being able to say, you know, that I was even a starter, you know, that I even contributed to a program like the University of Miami, you know, it's a blessing. That's somewhere I always wanted to go growing up. You know, I've seen all the Ray Lewis and Sean Taylor, you know, Ed Reeds, you know, so seeing those were kind of like idols, you know, growing up, seeing what they did and to be able to have my name mentioned, you know, just saying that, you know, I was a part of something great while I was there, you know, and just having my name, you know, just even talked about in the category with those guys, you know, it's a great feeling.
Definitely. So the transition from college to professional, what was the most difficult thing for you?
Transition from college to professional is really just, you know, accepting the business side of things, you know, coming into, you know, being a college player, you know, you considered an amateur, you know, in the word the NFL, you know, it's really you taking football as a career now. You know, you got to accept and learn the business side of things, how things maneuver, you know, because it's different in college. So if anything, it would be just, you know, in time management, you know, how to utilize my time, you know, making sure my body right, you know, eating right, you know, opposed to college where it's just I was going to practice, going to McDonald's, just eating, you know, just surviving the college life.
Yeah. So can you describe your draft day for us? How was that for you?
Draft day was crazy for me. It was you know, I just had a couple family members over. You know, I kind of had an idea of where I was going to get selected. You know, so I had a couple family members over. You know, just having high anticipation. You know, just waiting to see my phone ring. You know, I was checking my phone. You know, every couple picks. You know, I'm just checking my phone, seeing if I missed a call. You know, so when I finally got the call, it was unbelievable. Actually, you know, I was kind of in a state of shock. You know, to actually feeling. You know, just when I felt my phone ring, you know, it was like a sense of accomplishment of something I've been waiting for my whole life. You know,
Right.
so it was like, dang, it's the moment. You know, so it was a lot of emotions. You know, crying, my people crying. You know, I started crying when I seen my people crying. So
Dang.
you know, it was a wave of emotions.
Dang. So, okay, you started the last 5 games of last season with a total of 28 tackles. Take us to your first game starting. How was that?
Man, it was. I had to be mentally prepared. You know, my
True.
first game. I you know, I was really just practicing and doing special and playing special teams. You know, for like the first 12 weeks of the season. So, you know, just being on the like the practice the look team, you know, for those 12 weeks, you know, I feel like I was able to really, you know, hone in on other type of skills, you know, where it's just, you know, we're just out there basically, where we're basically helping the offense, you know, but I'm like a free player, you know, just so I'll use that time to just, you know, test my limits and try new things, you know, to try to add to the game, to just wait when it was my turn, you know, to where I could add that to my game. So my first game started, and it was like a wave of emotions. You know, it was talking to myself. You know, I'm a starter in the NFL.
Right.
You know, I think deep on everything. You know, so I take everything in. You know, so I just thank God. You know, just for having me in that moment. And then it was just like, you know, like I said, you know, like I'm a starter in the NFL. You know, so I felt like it was my time. You know, and I felt like I just tried to make the most of my opportunity.
Right. So, what is something you feel like you need to work on as an athlete?
As an athlete, you know, I feel like you never reach really what you're striving to be. You know, it's always going to be a journey, you know. So I try to work on every aspect of my game. You know, you never fully accomplish one aspect of a game. So, you know, speed, diagnosing plays, you know, pre-snap, post-snap reads, you know, my strength, everything really, you know, it's I never tried to, you know, just say I need to work on this and this and that. You know, it's always going to be a constant cycle of, you know, different aspects that I'm trying to work on.
So, I know you're young, you're 23. Is it hard managing your money responsibly? Responsibly.
uh, it's not actually, you know,
Okay.
during quarantine, I ran into, you know, I picked up new habits like reading and stuff, you know, so I read a lot of financial literacy books, you know,
Okay.
and it's just, you know, it's all a thought process, you know, it's social media has created like a competition between everybody, you know, where I want to look like I got this, I got this, I got that, you know, and I'm doing better than the next person. But I had to really, once I honed in on it, I really understood that, you know, money management, it's a mindset, you know, it's just not, you know how to explain it. It's, you know, it's within yourself, you know, so it gets tough, you know, when you see a lot of people, you know, getting a lot of stuff, you know, getting new shoes, you want to get all this type of stuff, you know, but it comes down to self-discipline, you know, and I had to really teach myself that self-discipline to where, you know, I see something that I want to like, I see something that I want to buy, but, you know, right now, not the time for me to do that, you know, early on, like, you know, I wanted to spend money on, You know, I ain't really know, you know, too much money management, but you know, I'm still learning about it. You know, still educating myself. But you know, I feel like I manage my money well.
Okay. So I love to see how you're connected with, you know, Odell Beckham. What is some things he's taught you or that you've learned from him, that you gained from him?
I mean, you know, those higher up guys in the NFL, you know, they you know, just showing, you know, how much they care for us, you know, in our future. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so they, you know, they somewhat live a, you know, a different kind of lifestyle, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
they want us to really, you know, understand and just, you know, they try to pass down knowledge of us to, you know, how the ins and out of stuff really works, you know, because they see a different side of stuff that we see. You know, any little thing, you know, that, you know, any little mark, you know, somebody can make on their names, you know, it gets blasted in front of the entire public, you know, so
Mm-hmm. Like
it's,
today.
yeah, you know, so it's like, you know, they just teach us, you know, just understand, you know, and fill yourself with knowledge about how stuff really works, you know, that so like social media, you know, is really not real, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so it's a lot to explain.
But basically, that's the
Yeah.
gist of it. Okay, so we're gonna go to a little segment that I call the real you. So, can you describe a normal day from you from morning to night?
In the mornings, I probably wake up around 6 in the morning, meditate for like 10 minutes, I pray for 10 minutes, uh, get to the facility like a regular day, like with practice and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like a regular day, you know, working from like, say, 7 to like 5. You know, I come back, I probably do like 2 hours of reading. I got a hyperbaric chamber that like pumps like 95% oxygen into my body. So I stay in there for about like an hour. You know, I'll just like watch film stuff from there.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest of my day, you know, I just like to, I like to read like a lot of history stuff, you know. So I was just watching YouTube on like Nat Turner, his rebellion, you know, a lot of Black Panther stuff, Stokely Carmichael,
Mm-hmm.
E. Newton, uh, Fred Hampton, you know, those type of guys. You know, I like to learn my history, you know. So, you know, it's a lot going on, you know, with
Yeah.
race relations right now. So, you know, a lot of people can argue, like, you know, a lot of people try to argue about a lot of stuff, but, you know, you got to be educated on where you came from, you know. So I
Mm-hmm.
pride myself on educating myself on where I came from.
Okay, so since you've been drafted, what was your first big boy purchase?
Yeah, my first was probably, I always want, like, when I was in college, I always told myself I wanted a Cuban link
Mm-hmm.
and a red wine chain. So my first purchase was, I went and got a Rolex, a Cuban
Uh-huh.
link, and a red wine chain. So my first purchase was a Rolex.
Big.
Yeah,
Big.
it probably, yeah, it was, yeah.
So, what made you get into music, and do you see yourself being a full-time rapper?
You know, I always, you know, with my friends, you know, we just used to freestyle and stuff, you know, on some fun stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, you know, one of my teammates, Chad, you know, he big into the music. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, last year we used to go to his house and I seen how serious he took it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, how he really broke it down to a science to where, you know, in high school we was just freestyling, you know, just for fun. You
Yeah.
know, but he really broke it down to a science, you know, and seeing his knowledge about music and how serious he took it, you know, came to a point where I just looked at it, you know, and I was like, you know, why not try? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it can't hurt me, you know. So I was like, just started learning about it slowly, you know, and then found out about studios around here and just started going into them, you know, and I just like being around the atmosphere, you know, just learning about how to use Pro Tools. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
used to watch him, you know, how he made beats and stuff, you know, so I'm still learning about it, but that's where it all came from. You know, I always loved freestyling and stuff, you know, just being
Mm-hmm.
funny, but seeing, you know, how serious he took it, you know, that really had a light in my head click to where I'm like, you know, I could try it and just see what I, you know, just see, you
Where you
know,
can go
so
with it.
still on the path with it.
So, what's your favorite NFL moment that the fans don't know about?
Favorite NFL moment.
Mm-hmm. That we don't like. We don't see. Like we don't really know about.
Uh, you talking about like in the game, or you talking about since I've been in the NFL?
Like game, crowd, locker room, whatever.
Yeah, probably our first like our first primetime game,
Mm-hmm.
just I think it was in New York when we played the Jets. Just walking out, seeing all the sports broadcasting shows,
Mm-hmm.
seeing all the analysts, and it's nighttime, under the lights, seeing the fans, it was
Mm-hmm.
like a sense of like damn, I'm here,
Yeah.
so, I'm playing in front of everybody, right now, in front of the entire country right now. So, those type of feelings, I love to reflect on. Like I said, I'm a deep person, so I sit back and reflect on anything good that happens to me. Thank God for it all. So I just had to sit down and like, damn, I'm here. So it'll probably be being under them lights, in them primetime football games.
So I put like a post on my page, and I had like a couple of fans ask questions what they wanted to hear. So
Mm-hmm.
one from Paris is, do you miss life before the NFL?
Do I? I mean, it's all it's people think it's like a big difference, but it's really what you make it,
Yeah.
So my life before the NFL is kind of the same as my life. It's the same
Yeah.
life. It's
Yeah.
just I'm getting paid to do what I love. I mean, yeah, to do what I love. So it's like life before. It was, it's always constant growth. So it's like I wouldn't say I miss life before. It's
Mm-hmm.
just we just going through different phases of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just this is my phase where I'm at right now, but I still love where I came from. I still love my past. Everything that happened to me, I feel like happened to me for a reason. I wouldn't change nothing that's happened to me because I don't know what could affect if I be here or not, be here
Mm-hmm.
today or not, So,
Mm-hmm.
it's just different phases. I love my life after football. I mean, my life before the NFL, and I'm loving my life during the NFL.
Yeah. And another one was from Saray, a biggest challenge as a pro athlete. Your biggest challenge.
Biggest challenge as a pro athlete. I'd probably say just, handling a lot of the pressures. A lot of people, get under pressure, seeing a lot of people who, their family asks for a lot of money,
Yeah.
thinking they got a lot of money, which they don't. Being in the NFL, a lot of people come under family pressures, the pressures of performance. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, that's why I'm so high on getting the education, and getting knowledge, because a lot of people, especially where I'm from, a lot of people depend solely on, they base their life dependent solely on if they make it to the NFL or not. I've seen a lot of people who, it's, I got to make it to the NFL or I'm out of luck. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll try to get people out of that mindset, to try to get people to understand, it's more stuff out there. Everybody wasn't built to be an athlete, a professional athlete. I was blessed to be where I am, but I won't let it define my entire existence,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just a football player.
Yeah. Okay, another one from Haley is time management hard for you being in the NFL?
You say what?
Is time management hard for you being in the NFL?
I mean, it's our job, so it takes up most of my day,
Yeah.
so, but that's what I signed up for,
Yeah.
that's what they pay us to do. So, it takes up a big majority of my day, but, time is what you make it.
Yeah.
So I use my extra time, the time that I'm not spending on football, I'm educating myself about what's going on, about where I came from. I used to spend a lot of time on, I could just sit on the game for hours.
Yeah.
Play a game for hours, scrolling on Twitter for hours,
Mm-hmm.
just laying in the bed doing nothing, but like I said, I did a lot of self-searching during this quarantine to where I spend my time wisely now. Everything I do is to either better me at my career or
Mm-hmm.
better me of my knowledge of where I came from and what's going on around me.
Wow. That was it. Someone else asked, Jordan asked, how did you get your agent? How was that process?
How did I get what?
Your agent, and how was that process?
They really, my agent came to me.
Okay.
Shout out to Drew. It was, just a process, to where I feel like, he's one of the best agents in the game. It was actually a blessing for me,
Mm-hmm.
to feel like, for him to feel like, I was talented enough for, him to recruit me, so being that he's one of the biggest in the game, he has some of the biggest names in the game. So, to be, you know, to be represented under somebody who represents those type of people, you know, it's truly a blessing, you know. But it wasn't really a long process. I talked to a couple of the agents, you know, but I felt like, you know, from the business side of things, you know, going with him was the best business move.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's some questions in this Dropbox that I'm gonna open them. They said, did you have the typical rookie experience?
I
I don't know what the typical rookie experience.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you know, it's a part of the you know, it's a part of the brotherhood of being in the NFL, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it was nothing crazy, you know. We had like a rookie show, you know.
Okay.
I had performed one of my songs, you know, in front of the entire team.
Oh.
You know, other people, you know, had people do card tricks, you know, we do little imitations of like other coaches and stuff, you know. But I had a good rookie experience, you know. A lot of players on my team, you know, a lot of older players on my team, they really accepted us, you know. And this, you know, and it's fun, you know. It's our first year, you know. We seeing an entire different side of where we've been trying to get. You know, when you're a rookie,
Yeah.
you are where you've been trying to get your entire life, you know. So everything is just, you know, and it's out of fun, you know. It was nothing harmful, you know. So everything was out of fun. But I love my rookie experience.
Okay, let me see what somebody else said.
Look at Lester, bro.
Who's your best friend on the team? Somebody.
I mean, you know, I got a lot of friends on the team. You know,
Right.
there's a team at the end of the day. I couldn't say, you know, just one person who was like my best friend on the team. You know,
Right.
but I got multiple friends on the team. You know, who we always keep in constant communication with. You know, it's like anything. You know, when you're around a team full of people, you know, for so long, you know, you just build different relationships, and you know, you just learn to accept people from different sides of the country from where you're from. You know how it is. You know, you just start, you know, when you hang around somebody so much, you know, you start to accept other people, you know, their way of living, where they come from, you know, other people accent, you know, that type of stuff, you know. So it's, you know, I got a lot of, you know, I'm close with a lot of people on the team. You know, it's a team at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Someone said, what can we expect from the Browns this year, especially in week 1?
And, you know, expect big things, you know. It's, you know, we've been working hard constantly, you know. It's going to never stop. You know, COVID has caused a lot of uncomfort in a lot of the everyday stuff we do. But how I feel, and our coach preaches it, is that the team that handles the uncomfort the best will ultimately end up the best.
Right. So this is a question from me. So you lived in Miami your whole life. How was moving away for you? Like living in Cleveland?
It was crazy, to be honest with you. You know, it's new, you know, especially the weather.
Right.
You know, I was dressing, you know, going to practice sometimes, you know, I wake up, waking up at 6 a.m, you know, I forget where I'm at, you know. Sometimes I walk out the house with a t-shirt and some shorts on, and it'd be 14 degrees outside. You know, I have to run to my car. You know, it takes 15 minutes for my car to heat up, you know, while I'm driving, you know. So, you know, it was definitely an adjustment, you know, but I love the city. You know, I love the fans. I feel like I get a lot of love out here, you know. So it's been an adjustment, you know, but I feel like I'm a great adjuster.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for your time. Your first game is Sunday against the Ravens. Good luck with that. Good luck this season. Stay safe. Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate it.